Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Arevik, the founder of China Group. Today I'm gonna talk about big and small trade shows and exhibitions in China and which one you should consider to attend. Big trade shows and exhibitions are usually very well-known events within their respective industry. So for example, if you are in food and beverage industry, then you should definitely have heard of Sial exhibition. If you are in textile and garment industry, then you should definitely have heard of Intertextile exhibition. And if you are in the heavy machinery industry, importing construction machinery, building material machines, construction vehicles and equipments, then you must have heard of Bauma. Bauma is a huge heavy machinery exhibition held once every 2 years in Shanghai. Now let's think about it together. Let's consider the intentions of participating or attending in a big or small trade shows from both suppliers and the buyer's perspective. What hidden intentions and expectations both the suppliers and buyers have when they are considering whether to participate in big, more international scale exhibitions or smaller, more niche, narrow trade shows? But before we dive into intentions and expectations, there is one very crucial step that we should take. We should first analyze your current business state and your current business goal. You need to ask yourself the following questions, and please make sure to answer them honestly. The first question that you should ask yourself is who you are. Are you just starting out your business? Or are you managing already established company? Or maybe you're a huge enterprise, a shark in your industry, so to say. Understanding your business's scale and position in the industry is crucial because it impacts your suitability for different trade shows. The next question that you should ask yourself is what is your current business state? How big and how stable your purchase volumes in each product segment that you operate? Assessing your current business state helps you to determine if you have a capacity to handle large orders from big trade shows, or if you should focus on smaller events first. And the last question that you should ask yourself, and make sure to answer it honestly, is what is your trade show participation goal? What are you looking for? Are you looking to find your first suppliers because you're just starting out? Or are you looking to expand your current supplier pool? Or maybe you're looking to expand your current SKU with the new products. Or maybe you're looking for new trends and want to stay updated on innovations and ideas in your niche. Setting clear goals for your participation will guide your decision-making process, whether you're seeking new suppliers, expanding your product segment, or staying updated on industry trends. Answers to these questions will help you to determine whether to visit small or big trade shows in China. So let's talk about the buyer's perspective. What intentions and expectations do you have when you consider whether to participate in big international scale trade shows or smaller, more niche-oriented trade shows? If you're just starting your business and your current purchase volumes are relatively low, then your goal would be to find partners in China to grow together with. Partners who are truly interested in cooperating with you and growing together with you. You can achieve this by cooperating with small to middle-sized manufacturers or well-established, very niche-oriented trade companies. All of these you can find on smaller sized, smaller scaled exhibition shows. For example, if you export seafood from China, then you would think that attending food and beverage trade shows such as Sial, very well known and the biggest trade show in this industry, would be of help for you, right? No. Instead, consider participating in smaller scale trade show in this industry. For example, China Fish Exhibition, where you will most likely find good suppliers for your current business scale. If you're already a well-established company with stable and relatively big purchase volumes, then of course consider visiting bigger trade shows, but don't neglect smaller ones as well, because you might find your next golden supplier there. If you're a big enterprise, then of course consider visiting or even participating in the big trade shows. At this stage of your business development, attending a trade show is mostly to make new connections, to meet up face to face and shake hands with people that you already know and cooperate with, and also to stay up to date with new trends and innovations in your industry. Now let's talk about suppliers' perspective. What are their intentions and expectations when they participate in big international scale trade shows? First of all, for supplier, participating in a big trade show is like a statement to show and tell everyone that their business is doing great. As you probably have seen, big companies try to participate in almost all big exhibitions. They try to take the biggest exhibition stand, and they always try to put on some kind of a show. They try to put some kind of engagement activities, giveaways, dances, and so on. All of this is not to do business and not to find new buyers. It's nothing but a marketing campaign for them. They use such events as a tool to build their brand awareness within the industry. Later on, they use the fact of participation in the trade show in their media. They post this news on their website, on their social medias, and again, to show to their current clients that their business is doing great. The second thing to consider from the supplier's perspective is the cost of participation in the big trade shows. Obviously, participation in the big trade show costs way more than participation in the smaller trade shows. And it also takes more significant efforts and preparations rather than participation in the smaller trade shows. Therefore, it's inevitable that the bigger the investment from the supplier's side, the bigger the returns they would be expecting. And what is considered as a return for the supplier? Of course, it's a big order volumes. They would be talking about monthly stable bulk orders starting from FCL and up. The third thing to consider from the supplier's side regarding their intentions and expectations when they participate in the big trade shows is that it reflects their company size, their willingness and ability to intake and work with the new buyers. But as I already said, the bigger the company, the bigger the talk. At this point, they won't be interested in cooperating and working with the low return on investment buyers, with the small and unstable orders. Now let's consider the supplier's intentions and expectations when they participate in smaller, more niche narrowed exhibitions. When suppliers participate in small trade shows, they actually intend to find new buyers. And since this kind of events bring more niche-oriented buyers, it's the best way for supplier to extend their current client pool. Therefore, the majority of the suppliers who would be considering participation in small trade shows are mostly small suppliers. But you can also find middle-sized manufacturers and also very niche-oriented, very well-established trading companies. The second thing to consider from the supplier's perspective when they decide to participate in smaller trade shows, it's obviously the cost. It costs way less to participate in smaller trade shows rather than in big ones. It also takes less paperwork and less preparations. Therefore, it's easier and quicker to arrange the participation. It also allows newly found suppliers with relatively low budgets for such events to start growing their client pool and start to develop their business. And since they are just starting to grow their business, they would be considering every opportunity that comes their way, unlike the big suppliers who can be quite picky about with whom they do business with. In smaller exhibitions, you will definitely find greater flexibility and more room for negotiation. And you can also talk lower MOQs and start your cooperation with LCL volume orders. Well, that's it for today's video. Thank you for sticking with me till the end. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Click that thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!